Let's practice writing division word problems. Write a division word problem with real-world context that can be solved by 20 divided by 4 and draw an appropriate visual representation. We're going to write two different word problems, one from each perspective of division that we've already discussed. The first one will be our measurement perspective. We're going to start our process by writing an annotated equation, which just means I'm going to write out the equation I'll be solving and add labels to tell what each number represents. In division, our dividend, the first number, is going to be the total units. Another name for a measurement division problem is how many groups. That tells what the answer is. So how many groups? What are we missing then? We're missing the size of each group. So 4 is going to be the units in each group. So that's our generic case. So next I want to add some real-world context. In division word problems that are measurement, recipes can work really well. So let's write a recipe problem. So I'm going to have a recipe, and I'm going to say that this recipe uses carrots. And I know 4 units in each group, so I'm going to be thinking about measuring out or counting out batches of 4 carrots. So this will be my units were carrots. My units are going to be 4 carrots in each. What are my groups now? My groups are recipes. And so if my groups are recipes, then I'm answering the question, how many recipes? So then I can turn this more detailed annotated equation into a story about carrots in a recipe. Manny has 20 carrots. Each carrot cake recipe calls for 4 carrots. How many carrot cake recipes can he make? So let's make our visual model now. I've chosen to do a double number line. In this case, you can see that my top number line goes all the way to 20, my dividend. My bottom number line, the tick marks line up, but so far they're unlabeled, they're blank. The top number line is going to represent my carrots. The bottom number line is going to represent my recipes. I start with 0 of each, and in the top number line, each space represents 1 carrot. You can think about lining the carrots up back to back here, and so I'm going to have 4 spaces will be 4 carrots. That represents my first recipe. Another 4 spaces will be 8 carrots. That's my second recipe. Another 4 spaces will get to my third recipe, and I can keep going here until I've used up all 20 carrots, and I can see that I have 5 recipes. Okay, let's do the second model now. Now I'm going to look at the partitioning model, and in this case, the answer is how many in each group. So my annotated equation, still 20 divided by 4, my answer represents how many in each group. I start again with total units, and now the label that I'm missing is the total number of groups. So this will be 4 groups. In my real-world context, I need to think about when might I have 20 of something that I need to divide into 4 equal groups. Well, I've decided to say that I have 20 chairs. So I'm going to be looking for how many chairs, what are my groups going to be? How many chairs around each table? So that means that my groups are tables, and my 4 will represent 4 tables. So if I have 20 chairs and I distribute them around 4 tables, how many chairs are around each table? Now we just form this into a little paragraph or a couple of sentences for my real-world context. Ms. Jones has 20 chairs in her classroom and 4 tables. How many chairs will be at each table if she evenly distributes them? All right, let's go for a visual model. In this case, I think I'm going to use a bar model to start with. So I'm going to draw, or a strip diagram here, I'm going to draw my 20 total chairs, and then I'll have 4 equal spaces, each representing 1 table. And so then I can say how many chairs around each table. Well, in this case, it's going to be 5 chairs at each table. I could go quite a bit more literal, and I could actually draw out 4 tables, and then think about 20 chairs, and each chair I can distribute 1 at a time per table. If I don't know the answer yet, I would start counting the chairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And I can see that I have 5 chairs at each table.